Two heads are better than one. If only fusions in the Dragon Ball universe worked like that. Fusion pops up a lot in this series, and we're taking it upon ourselves to rate all of them. Now, a few rules before we begin. We're looking at fusion where two willing beings merge into a new creature. So for that reason, absorption doesn't count as fusion. So Cell and Baby are off the list. Let's get started. The greatest appeal of Dragon Ball is its low power situations where there were no earth-ending battles, large planet-destroying moves, or endless minutes of yelling. It was about a boy and his friends finding some balls, which you know actually were a big deal in a series called Dragon Ball. You know what the biggest threat in the first arc of Dragon Ball was? A tiny man with his two goons harassing Kid Goku with a few machines. Yeah, Emperor Pilaf was the main antagonist for the first leg of Dragon Ball, and he clashed with Team Dragon using his Pilaf machines. They were mech suits that allowed the otherwise normal bad guys to become actual threats, and when three of them combined, their power tripled. Goku could only cower and watch as one robot became three, stacked on top of each other. Yeah, it's maddening, I know. It's unlimited power. So yeah, it's pretty obvious that this is the weakest fusion I could find that counted. A well-placed Kamehameha destroyed one or two of these dime store mechs. Heck, the only thing that these mechs had over Goku was that they could fly, and even then, he could hit them with his extendo staff. Our next entry technically has a power level, but he never engages in direct combat. Old Kai is a fusion between Elder Kai and an Old Witch. An obscenely long time ago, an Old Witch snuck into the realm of the Kais and snuck up on young Elder Kai, confusing name I know, and took one of his Potara earrings. This caused the two to fuse into the Old Kai we know today. During his lifetime, Old Kai got into an argument with the God of Destruction and was sealed away into the Z-Sword. We later found out that this God of Destruction was none other than Lord Beerus. Old Kai may not be physically strong, after all a simple ki blast from Goku was enough to knock him out, but he does have millions of years worth of knowledge, and is a valuable mentor to Gohan, Goku, and indeed the rest of the Kais during the Buu saga. He was the one who brought out Gohan's latent potential, and gave Goku the Potara earrings that would lead him to fuse with Vegeta. While he may just be a frail old man, Old Kai shows us that brains can overcome brawn. Now let's move on to a Kai that actually knows how to throw a punch or two. Kibito Kai is the Potara fusion between Kibito and Shin. The fused Kai takes on the physical attributes of both Kais, but retains Shin's voice instead of it being kind of altered, mixed with both like the other fusions.
You mean I'm stuck this way?
To Kibito Kai's shock, however, their fusion is permanent, which really sucks when you think about it. They only wanted to demonstrate the power of Potara fusion and really only did it on a whim. Apparently when Kais fuse, it's for good. Or so they thought, however. In Dragon Ball Super, the two finally got to split using the Namekian Dragon Balls. I wonder why Old Kai doesn't do the same. Like I stated before, however, this Kai has some fight in him. Both Shin and Kibito have fought Buu before and barely made it out alive. As Kibito Kai, he is much stronger than the sum of his parts. Still, Old Kai forbids Kibito Kai from fighting Super Buu with Goku. Kibito Kai doesn't fight much, but he would be more than a match compared to Old Kai. We won't be seeing many other Kai fusions for quite a while on this list. Our next powerful fusion is actually a bad guy. Akka is a fusion between Abo and Kado, two soldiers in the Frieza Force. They're just low-level grunts and appear in the special Yo! Son Goku and his friends return! According to Vegeta, Abo and Kado are similar to the Ginyu Force in terms of strength. But considering this is Dragon Ball Super, that doesn't really say much. Abo and Kado appear when Turble, Vegeta's estranged brother, imagine that bombshell, comes to him for aid. Trunks and Goten kick the two Frieza grunts around before the two get serious. They fuse into Akka, a big, beefy, purple alien. Not wanting to be upstaged, the two Half-Saiyans fuse into Gotenks to take him on. Their fight is pretty short-lived because as soon as Akka was showing just a smidge of actual power, Vegeta and Goku step in to finish him off. While he has no problem stealing a victory from his own son, Goku doesn't kill Abo and Kado, but instead they attempt to make amends and join in a banquet. This is all well and good, but I think Akka's powers and character are overshadowed by the fact Vegeta has a brother, and we're only just now hearing about it. Halfway between absorption and fusion, there is Namekian fusion. Mechanically speaking, it is similar to the Pilaf machines combining, where multiple of the same kind of being combines their powers to one being willingly. But the primary has their identity remain intact. With Namekian fusion, one chooses to be part of the host body and lends their power to them. So it's more accurate to call it Namekian assimilation, but that has some negative connotations. We see Piccolo use this technique twice in Dragon Ball Z. He first absorbs a dying nail, and then with his new power he's able to go handle himself against Frieza, at least for a little while. Piccolo would do this again when facing the androids. He fuses with Kami and is strong enough to hold his own against Android 17. What's unique about this kind of fusion, besides the fact that it's permanent, is that while the host retains control of their body and gains more power, the assimilated body maintains their own consciousness, which is separate from the host. However, with Piccolo fusing with Kami, Earth's Dragon Balls vanished since Piccolo can't maintain the link between his body and the Dragon Balls. And here we are at the halfway point. It's here where we begin to see some real serious power behind the fusions. And who better to start with than the first successful fusion dance fusion in the Dragon Ball series, Gotenks. As stated before, this is a fusion of Gohan and Trunks. They fused in the Majin Buu saga in response to the Earth's desperate need for powerful fighters. At this point in the series, Buu had already defeated Gohan and Vegeta. Desperate times called for desperate measures. While a fusion is normally more powerful than the sum of its parts, Gotenks is significantly more powerful than either Trunks or Goten. When the two are properly fused together, Gotenks is capable of going Super Saiyan 2 and even 3, a feat neither Saiyan can do on their own. At the time of the character's creation, nobody could stand up to Majin Buu's powers. Gotenks was able to go toe-to-toe with both Majin Buu and Super Buu for a time. Gotenks is a serious powerhouse, but he comes up short in more ways than one. For starters, his cocky attitude can get the better of him in a fight, and given his lack of experience compared to the other fighters, it's often undeserved arrogance. Where did Trunks and Goten learn the fusion dance? Well, they got it from watching their dads. Well, technically, Piccolo and Goku showed them the dance first, but you get the idea though. Gogeta is a result of a fusion dance between Goku and Vegeta. There are a lot of similarities between Gogeta and Vegito, but the main difference is that Vegito is made with Potara fusion and is regarded as the stronger of the two. Gogeta was first introduced in GT, believe it or not. Gogeta was made when Super Saiyan 4 was a thing, and the two fused to take on Omega Shenron. They fused to make Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and take on Omega Shenron. The character was finally reintroduced to the canon when he appeared in Dragon Ball Super Broly. Although since the fusion dance was already canon, I guess that means Gogeta already technically was? Nonetheless, Gogeta possesses all the techniques Vegeta and Goku know, which includes going Super Saiyan Blue. Just like with Gotenks, Gogeta has other forms depending on if Vegeta and Goku do the fusion dance right. During their fight with Janemba, some fingers are crossed and Gogeta's stuck in his obese form. Really gotta hit your marks, guys. Dragon Ball Super gave us a lot, and one of the higher notes was not one but two female Saiyans that were actually powerhouses. Kale and Caulifla are Saiyans from Universe 6. While these new Saiyans appear to be more slender and less ripped than their Universe 7 counterparts, they are nonetheless still Saiyans. This means they gain all the benefits of Saiyan biology. Well, almost everything. The Universe 6 Saiyans never had tails. Tailless as she may be, Kefla still has plenty going for her. She is the result of a Potara fusion, which already makes her more powerful than Gogeta and Gotenks. Just like other Potara fusions, Kefla retains the unique abilities of Kale and Caulifla. The biggest bonus she gets is Kale's Super Saiyan Berserk mode. While the other Saiyan's aura is yellow when going Super Saiyan, Kale's is green. And the only other time we've seen this green aura is with Broly. It was a nice twist and a way of making Broly's power canon, since his movies weren't previously. Kefla proved to be a struggle for Goku, so much so that Goku had to use Ultra Instinct in order to win. Kefla may have lost, but there is no telling how powerful she could actually become. And we come to what most people would see as the most powerful fusion in Dragon Ball. On paper, you'd be right to assume it. Vegito is the Potara fusion between Goku and Vegeta. Unlike Gogeta, however, this form was introduced first as canon. We first see Vegito in the Majin Buu saga. With Potara earrings, the fusion lasts forever when used on Kais. However, with mortals, the fusion lasts for 1 hour, which is already double the time for the fusion dance. Additionally, the mechanics of Potara fusions are implied to be more complex than the fusion dance, which is why we see a dramatic rise in Vegito's power level. He is able to take full advantage of Goku's fighting knowledge and strategic tactics of Vegeta. After the Majin Buu saga, we would not see Vegito again until the future Trunks saga, where desperate times called for Vegito to arise again. In Super, Vegito is able to go Super Saiyan Blue as well, becoming Vegito Blue, though there is a cost to handling so much power. After firing a final Kamehameha, Vegito tries to continue the fight only to split back into Vegeta and Goku again before the time limit is reached. It's easy to say that Vegito is easily the most powerful mortal fusion in the Dragon Ball franchise. And you notice how I said mortal? Well, one of the most confusing arcs in Dragon Ball Super's run was the Zamasu arc, but that was mostly due to time travel into parallel universes. Basically, fused Zamasu is a Potara fusion between Goku Black, who is really just Zamasu from the present taking over Goku's body, and future Zamasu. Two different versions of the same person fusing together? Forbidden fusion indeed. Though to him, collapsing the space-time continuum is a small price to pay for perfect justice. Zamasu is not only uniquely powerful, but is also a supreme Kai of Universe 10. Through a series of unfortunate events that I really don't want to recap, mostly because it would just get really confusing, Zamasu Potara fuses with a future version of himself to become even more powerful. While he was split in half by future Trunks using a power that was similar to Super Saiyan Blue but not actually Super Saiyan Blue, and later fought Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, it was still not enough to completely get rid of the guy. Even after being split in half, his will still lived on and threatened the entire universe. In the end, it took Zeno the Omni King wiping out the entire universe that Zamasu resided in to truly get rid of the guy. If you're so powerful that you need the king of the multiverse to delete the whole world, you win. And those are our rankings for the most powerful and weakest fusions. What do you think of our rankings? Who would you put at number 1? Let us know your favorite fusion in the comments down below.